Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review on the new Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation and the Cream Highlight and Contour Kit, and I am so excited to try these out. So if you like this video then please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, and let's just get started. So this is what the packaging looks like on the Fast Base Foundation from Makeup Revolution, and this is what it looks like without the lid on, and then this is what the product looks like. I got the shade F1 and there is, it doesn't tell you how much product there's in it, but I will leave it linked down below, but this is how much that you do get in it. Then twist it all the way back down, and this is what the highlight and cream contour kit looks like, and I'll just try and open it. So now that I've eventually got it open, this is what they look like, and this is the highlight stick, and I'll do a little swatch of that actually. Where do I want to swatch it? So that is what the highlight looks like, and then on the other side this is the matte one. Well, I don't know if it's matte, but not the highlight one, if that makes sense. That is just a swatch of it there, and I got the kit in Fair because I thought it would be the best for my skin tone, obviously. This is the bronzer side, I believe, on this one, and I'll do a little swatch of that as well. So straight away what I'm noticing is I'm trying to swatch it and it's just rolling down by itself. So that is what it looks like. And then this is the contouring side that looks really nice and cool toned. This side isn't rolling down as much, but it did still roll down. So that is what they all look like once they are swatched. And it does come with a little brush and sponge to blend out with. I don't know about these. I don't see why they put these in. They just don't blend out, but this one does feel so much softer than what the L'Oreal one did, so I'll try this to blend out the concealer underneath my eyes. I'm going to start off with the foundation, obviously, and I haven't primed my skin or nothing, just so that I can see how it works without being primed. So I'm just going to swipe this down. That actually looks like quite a good match for my skin. So I'm just going to do one side of my face first. It does feel very creamy going, nearly dropped the lid. It does feel really creamy going onto the skin. I'm going to use my sponge to blend this side out. It does seem to be blending out a lot better than the L'Oreal one with a sponge. It is actually a really good colour match for my skin. I'm just going to swipe it around my eyebrows and then into my hairline, and my hair is very crazy today. I have just washed it and I was going to French plait it, but then my Superdrug order came and I just wanted to film this straight away, so I do have crazy hair right now. So I did just mess up my eyebrow, but I can fix that anyway. So the foundation is sitting nicely on my skin. It has already settled into my smile line, but all foundations do that anyway, so I'm not too bothered. It has covered up everything nicely. It's even covered up quite a lot of my freckles as well. So as you can see, I'll give you a little close up. It has kind of went a bit patchy here, but think that might just be the sponge. I'll try blending it in with a brush. But that has blended it out better, and it still is a little bit patchy, but I'll just add more foundation to that spot. But as you can see, it has covered up like basically everything. It's covered up my little red spot that I had right there, and I like it. So we'll do this side now. Then just going to blend this out. So that is this side done, and it has covered up everything nicely. It's covered up all of my red patches, and it's not settling into my smile lines as much on this side with blending it out with a brush. So George has just woke up and he's a little grumpy man today, aren't you? So I just put George back in his pram and kind of hoping that he'll just go back to sleep, but he's just kind of chilling now. But overall, so you can see my pores the slightest little bit on my cheeks. It hasn't really picked up on any of my dry patches either. It is looking very nice on my skin. It is slightly tacky, so you will need to set it. So I'm going to use the contour and highlight kit now, and the only thing is it doesn't tell you what is in it, so you do need to pick it up and open it to see what is in it. So I'm going to use the cream shade, and I'm going to conceal under my eyes. It's creamy, but it kind of drags on your skin at the same time. So I'm going to use this little sponge to blend it out, and it is very soft and like bouncy. We'll go with bouncy. And I'm going to try blending this out. So it's blending it out slightly, but not really. Like, it is taking a lot of work to blend it out. It does feel slightly hard pressing it underneath the eye. I'm going to use a little brush side just to blend that out my nose, just to be quicker. So the brush side has blended that out nicely, so I'm just going to use this just to blend out the rest of that. So that is it all blended out. It hasn't covered everything under my eyes. I can still see some of my dark circles, and it has picked up the foundation slightly right here on my cheek. It really hasn't covered that much underneath my eye. I'm going to add a little bit more under my eye, and I'm going to blend that out with my finger just to see if we can get some more coverage. So that has blended out a lot better with my finger. It's still not giving me any coverage right here, so I'm going to twist that back down again. I'm going to use the highlighting shade, and I'm going to swipe it along my cheek. I think that's actually picked up my foundation a little bit. So on the other side, I'm going to use my finger to put it on to my cheek. I'm going to use my foundation brush just to blend that out. As you can see, it has picked up my foundation a lot more in that patch. I wouldn't use the stick to apply it to your face. So it's applying a lot better with my finger, and it is quite a nice highlight. It is quite subtle, but with a powder highlight over the top it will make it more intense. So now I'm going to go in with the contour side, and I'm going to get my hair out the way, and I'm going to just, that actually looks really nice and cool toned. That looks like it's going to match me quite nicely. And then I'm going to put some of this around my forehead as well. So I'm going to use the brush side to blend this out. I'm just going to blend this side out with this brush as well. It is blending out really easily, so it is. I think that side blended out a lot faster than that side, so I feel like if you were to leave it on your skin for like a couple of seconds just to let your skin heat the product up, it will blend out a lot easier. But it has blended out nicely. It's gave me like a nice contour to my cheeks as well. So now I'm going to try and use the bronzer side if it doesn't roll down on me. I don't really know where to put the bronzer one. I'll try some little swipes above where I put the contour. So when I was putting it on, it was rolling down, but see, if you actually hold it, it doesn't roll down. Suppose that's not too bad if you just hold that bit. I'm going to let that heat up now, and I'm going to blend out my forehead first. So that is blended out nicely, and it is sitting on top of that other contour shade really nicely, and it isn't too dark for my skin. I will try and leave this linked down below, and the foundation as well. But when I went on to check Superdrug the other day after I had ordered the stuff, the shade F1 in the foundation and the Fair highlighting contour kit wasn't actually on the website anymore. They'd taken it off for some reason, so I'll try and leave it linked for Superdrug. If I can't, then I'll leave it for Tam Beauty. So that has blended out nicely, and they are blending out nicely over the top of the foundation as well. So I'll give you a little close up of what my skin is looking like. It is sitting really nicely, obviously apart from this patch from where I applied the highlight straight from the stick. The concealer isn't giving me any coverage underneath my eyes. It is all sitting nicely on my forehead, so I really need to fix my eyebrows now. So that is me finished doing my makeup and everything, and I used the Surprise Eggs for the eyeshadow, and they are absolutely amazing. So if you want to see how they work and how I done this eyeshadow, then the video will be up on Thursday. As for the foundation, it's been on my skin for an hour now, and it is still sitting very nicely. It's only sunk into my smile line slightly on this side because I used the sponge on this side, but it hasn't on that side. So I would recommend using a brush, and it is easier to blend out using a brush. The contour and bronzer still looks very nice. I did only contour with the powder slightly. I didn't actually bronze my skin at all. This is literally just the cream bronzer. So it is now 25 to 1, so I will check in with you guys in a little while so that you can see how it's all sitting on my face. So it is now 5 to 11, and this foundation and cream contour and everything has been on my skin for just over 10.5 hours, which is quite a long time to be wearing a foundation. So taking a closer look, it has sunk into my smile lines as foundations normally do. You can definitely see my pores a lot more now. This is a very close up and personal view of my face. As you can see, you can still see that patch of where that highlight lifted my foundation. The contours kind of came off in a patch here, but that could have just been my son because he was sucking on his hand and then he touched my face, so that might just have been him. It came off on my nose, but that could have been me from touching it. This side still looks okay. My top lip looks quite dry and my forehead looks very dry. You can see all my dry patches and it has sunk into the fine lines on my forehead, and that concealer has definitely creased underneath my eyes quite a bit, but concealers normally do that. But there's still just no coverage at all with it. But overall, it is still looking okay on my skin because I didn't use a primer, and I don't even think I used setting spray. I think I actually forgot to use setting spray as well, and then it's been on my skin for more than 10.5 hours, so this is really quite good for a foundation, especially on my skin. Normally foundations don't last this long on my skin, but overall I really do like this foundation. And as I said earlier on in the video, I think I said it anyway, my cat Tigger, there is 18 shades. I've got my new lights up, that's why the lighting looks so much better now compared to my past couple of foundation reviews. Say hello. Say hello, Tigger. I feel like if I was to have obviously the primer and setting spray, it would look a lot better. So the cream contour bronzer in highlight sticks, the contour and bronzer still look really nice on my skin. I like the way that they look, and the way that they blended out was really nice. The highlight, it's quite subtle, but you need to apply it with your finger or else it will lift up your foundation like it did in this little patch here on my skin. But apart from that, the highlight is okay. The concealer shade is not great. It honestly didn't cover nothing. You can really see my dark circles. So if you don't need to cover dark circles, then it will be nice for you, but I do have dark circles that I need to cover, so it's not really the best for me. And honestly, I'd rather just use the Conceal and Define concealer, which is full coverage, so probably not going to use that again. I will definitely be using the contour and bronzer shades again. The highlighting shade, no, probably just use it just because I've got it. But overall it is still a good product, but for £15, I know you get the brush with it as well, but the sponge on it is, it's quite useless. The brush is quite good, but for £15 to like just 2 shades out it, I know some of you will be thinking it's only £15, but some people don't have £15 to spend on makeup to only like 2 shades out of the 4 and to only like one side of the brush. So it is just really what you like with your concealer and your highlight, and if you like the cream contour and bronzer or not. So that is completely up to you on how you like it to look on your skin. This is just my opinion on it. It's not a bad product, it's just the concealer does not work for what I needed it for. And just a quick side note, I do have my new lights up, and honestly my video, I just keep on looking because it looks so much better compared to the last 2 testing foundation videos that I've done, because when I'd done the check-in at night time it was just like really dark, and honestly the quality of the videos is not great because of it. but with these lights it just looks amazing. You can see everything on my skin as well, so hopefully you guys like the new lighting as well. And I think that is all from me tonight. So this is the finished video, and I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!